We have IMLosirA versus Slayers MMA. Oh my goodness gracious. I am Squiggles and this is Metalopolis. Thank you guys for joining me for another cast. I am super excited because this is from the finals of MLG, and guess what? This was probably my favorite game that these guys played. These guys are both top pro gamers, like I said, from the finals of the MLG. So my goodness, I am just so excited to see what these guys do. Even though I've already seen the match once, I'm sure I have not seen everything, and I was freaking out as much as everybody else while I was watching these games. So between that and my caffeine induced haze that I was on because I hadn't slept in forever, I am sure that I will be finding new and cool stuff on this game as well, or in this game rather. There we go with a little SCV poke to make sure that he finds the Overlord, although the Overlord, not even trying to hide himself, is just going to go ahead and climb in here. And I had somebody ask me about this, so I am going to do it as this game kind of goes through the opening stages. I am going to set it for just a little bit on LosirA's cam, and I'm going to let you watch and see exactly how fast he moves. All right, you ready? Buckle up your seats. Here we go. So you can see LosirA, how much time he spends actually looking with his Overlord, but actually having his hatchery queued, right? Like he has his hatchery. He's using his hatchery right now, although he's looking with his Overlord, and he just constantly goes back and forth, and this is known as tabbing. And I'll bring up the APMs just so you can see just exactly how fast this is going. And the game actually makes it slightly more gentle by having these kind of scroll things as opposed to just popping around the screen like he does. Now I'm going to switch it over to MMAs, and you're going to be able to see a little bit of MMA style as well. You can see MMA selecting a whole whoa, did I? There we go, player camera, bam. All right, you can see MMA doing his little own stuff as well, and you can see MMA's is about 260 right now, 300 right now. So they're both at exactly the same average right now. Oh, they were for little bit at 248 apiece.
Upgrade.
So these guys are really, really fast, and you can see just how fast they move. So I'm going to go ahead, just so you guys could get a little idea of how fast these guys are actually going. Now, I want to note, as we go back to the production tab, I want to note that it looks like, let's see, looks like we have a gap. Okay, so we had a fast expand going down for LosirA and LOL. Look at this by MMA, so cutesy. Going to be building a bunker in between, and this is so annoying because it actually blocks off like 3 mineral patches from mining. I guess you can still mine from this one, so 2, but it blocks off 2 mineral patches from mining. And look at this SCV can't even be attacked right here, so he's just going to let these drones waste all of their mining time. The thing I wanted to note before. Oh my goodness, look at this ninja SCV as he runs away. Getting back to my point, what I wanted to note before, there we go, is that you don't have to move that fast, okay? As Reapers, it looks like you're going to be harassing as well. So you don't have to move as fast, and don't get discouraged if you're like, oh my gosh, they move so fast, I will never possibly move that fast. It's okay. You don't have to move that fast. That is just showing what the tippity top level Koreans, how they play. And I had a couple people ask for that, so just thought I would give you a little bit of insight into the real speed that they move. And look at this Reaper. 8 kills on this Reaper. Talk about paying for yourself as another Reaper pops out as well. And this Reaper somehow still alive with 7 hit points. Goodness gracious. How is that even possible? You can see that he's expanding behind this, adding on a couple more barracks. So going to be 3 racks and getting, it looks like combat shields before stim even, because combat shields builds about 30 seconds faster than stim. So nice job there. You can see that the drones have been pulled out of gas by LosirA. He is getting some zergling speed going down right now, as well as a lot more drones. And it looks like actually he's getting an extra. Where? What? Oh, there it is. There's the extractor. I was like, where is it? He's taking his opponent's extractor. How manner of him. LOL. So MMA does have his command center up, his expansion command center, I should say, and it looks like he's going to be turning it into an orbital command inside his base before he goes ahead and moves it out. With this Reaper, it looks like he is just going to barely get away, and the other Reaper did go down. But if we look at the units lost, we can see that MMA has killed 7, count them, 7 drones already, and with a total of 9 units killed. Then he has lost 1, which is the Reaper. So very, very nice by him. And we can see now in the worker counts that MMA is really close, really close to LosirA, and also has a huge army supply lead. So good job by MMA, really slowing down LosirA and forcing him to be on the defensive and lose a ton of drones. You can see a baneling nest going down now for LosirA, still on 1 gas, has put people back in gas now, and is just going to continue. It looks like getting some Zerglings, but going to continue getting drones as well. Really wants to get a good economy up. That is the goal when you go for a hatchery first build anyway. Now it looks like MMA, he does have his orbital down as well, getting a bunker, and it looks like he is going to be moving out with a whole bunch of Marines actually. Not Stim, just combat shield. Stim is on the way right now. And these other, looks like these barracks are just going to be streaming Marines nonstop, not even waiting to get the add-ons on them. Just going to go ahead and do that. And it looks like MMA was able to push up, and that forced a few more Zerglings to be built, and now he's just going to turn around and run away. And, oh, the Reaper finally goes down in a hail of, I don't know what that is, shrapnel, regardless. So MMA doing a pretty good job, and look at this. Looks like LosirA, he is feeling pretty feisty. He's got quite a few Zerglings, although to be fair, oh snap, there's Banelings going to be coming, and look at this by MMA, going to scout it instantly. This SCV, your life was not in vain because you scouted all of those Banelings, and instantly you see all kinds of supply depots and another bunker going down, because really MMA needs a whole bunch of stuff to maneuver around, and ooh, there is a tank out right now, but siege mode is not done. It's only about 50% of the way done. Banelings are coming in right now, and they're going to be able to do lots of damage. Look at these Marines. Oh my goodness, they have nowhere for them to maneuver now, and it looks like actually nice job with those Marines, able to not sustain that many Baneling hits, but still, it looks like MMA's natural has been breached as he starts to lose some SCVs. We'll have to take a look at the units lost tab after this. Looks like MMA going to be salvaging this bunker, seeing as how he is not going to be able to get any units inside of it. And now MMA is just holding on. He's trying his best to hold on, rather, as he just waits for, oh my goodness, if this gets picked off, that would be huge. But I think Stim will finish. But MMA is really just waiting until, yes, siege mode is done. And Stim is done right now. 7 drones on the way for LosirA, so he is doing a great job of just getting ahead economic-wise after all that damage he was done, forcing the lift of the orbital. And let's go ahead and take a look at the units lost tab. You can see now that LosirA has killed 12 SCVs, only losing the 7 drones to the Reaper harass in the beginning of the game. So great job by LosirA, able to come back and take a lead as far as that goes. And units killed, you can see for yourselves. MMA still a bit in the lead, but that is not really that what's the word I'm looking for? It's not really that telling because of how many Zerglings that he killed. Now it looks like MMA going to be going for some drops, and it looks like he only lost maybe 1 Marine there, a couple Marines going to be pulling back. So good job, was able to snipe about 3 drones with that drop. We can go ahead and look at the army supplies, and we can see that MMA is ahead in the army supplies. But worker supplies, LosirA is getting farther and farther ahead because he just refuses to stop building drones, man. He just keeps building them. I mean, you can see in the production tab he's building 8 drones right now, 10 drones. Also getting his 3rd and throwing down a lair, getting a couple more gas as well. Goodness gracious, so getting everything all at once. And MMA, it looks like, is going to be continuing to get supply blocked. LOL. It should be finishing anytime now. Bloop. There we go. Yay. But it looks like he is just going to be dropping, continuing to drop. You can see dropships flying all over the place. Oh, and look at this, a Viking going to be putting some pressure on a Overlord, and now it looks like MMA going to be coming over here with the dropship as well, and over here with the dropship, going to take control of the Xel'Naga watchtower. Pretty important to have those Xel'Nagas. You can see LosirA is up by about 10 supply right now, and MMA going to be dropping his Marines over here. Stim is done at this point. +1 infantry just now starting, +1 infantry for MMA, and it looks like MMA going to be putting on a lot of pressure on this hatchery. Lots of Zerglings coming in and loading up all of his Marines, not even losing a single Marine. And now it looks like he's going to go ahead and unload again. And oh no, Marines, look out! And a little bit of, I don't know, looks like those Marines all died. So too bad for them. And now this Viking going to be patrolling around. He feels very, very boss-like because he has 1 kill to his name. But I don't want to say that he is not a baller, because he does, in fact, have 1 kill. And that's more than I would have in this game. Probably just be scared of all the Zerg units. That are scary when you see them up close. So MMA doing a good job with these drops. Looks like he might lose a few Marines here. Going to load him back up. But he is just keeping LosirA busy with all of his units. So LosirA really cannot go on the offensive, or he'll just lose too many drones. And oh my goodness, look at that. There's a ton of Banelings. Goodness gracious, 15 Banelings. Also, centrifugal hook's almost done right now, so Baneling speed, and it looks like a Spire going down as well. Good creep spreading. I can see 5 creep tumors building right now. Pretty good. And look at this. This base block brought to you by Taco Bell. Good job on them for serving all of those bean burritos, which are to attribute for the fact that he will not be able to take his third very fast. So it looks like LosirA, or MMA rather, has both Xel'Naga Watchtowers very not the way it usually is. And oh my goodness, look at this, a double drop coming in here. And it looks like those Marines were able to kill quite a few Zerglings before having to pick up and move off. Another drop back here by MMA, and going to be picking up all of his units as well. So MMA just all over the place with drops, and this is why I love this game, man, because there is just dropping all over the place. And then LosirA kind of gets fed up with it at some point. I don't want to spoil anything, but so we can see here that LosirA is ahead, but only by about 3 supply right now. So MMA doing a great job of, you know, coming back in it. And it looks like this queen will go down. Oh, and an explosion of giblets and shrimp and all kinds of other stuff. Great tank spread right here. But look at this. These Zerglings are able to get in here and clean up everything that MMA has. Great little push denied by LosirA with a good timing on getting those tanks. Although the tanks, they were spread really, really well. But there was just too many Zerglings and Banelings, and they were able to take that down. And now it looks like MMA going to be threatening another drop, but in fact he is going to make good on his threat by killing at least 1 drone. Looks like 2 drones now. Oh my goodness, and only with a couple of Marines he's able to do a lot of damage. And these Marines, oh, looks like 1 will be saved. Phew. Meanwhile, another little push coming out from MMA on the front of the line, and Banelings and Zerglings going to be coming here doing a lot of damage. And will they be able to take out the tanks? 1 tank does go down, but these Marines doing a lot of damage in the background. And I feel like I'm a used car salesman trying to sell something really fast, but I'll stop doing that now. But it looks like MMA is going to be able to hold there, doing a good job of sniping those creep tumors. So he is going to be able to make this creep go back, because you don't really want to be fighting on creep, but when the creep is all over the map, it's kind of hard not to. Now it looks like MMA going to be just expanding to the gold, saying, I don't care, I don't need any Taco Bell. You can have Taco Bell all you want, man. I'm going to go do this. Lots of mutas out now. Oh my goodness, sniping 1 dropship. And another dropship going to be unloading all of his guys. Marine stemming going to be running away. And these mutas now, now it's LosirA's turn to harass MMA. You can see LosirA is up by about 20 supply right now. So good on him. As this missile turret does finish, looks like a couple more missile turrets are going to need to be thrown down. He does have 1 in his main and none in his natural. So we're going to have to be careful of that. Does have a couple coming up at his gold. And good job by MMA taking the gold. He's like, well, apparently MMA wants to be aggressive, so he's going to go ahead and just take the gold because it is along his line of attack. And that means he is going to be able to defend his gold while attacking, because all of his units are going to be running right past there. Meanwhile, it looks like the Mutalisks of LosirA are going to be running back in here, and he has quite a supply lead at this point. Looks like about 30 supply, and going to be coming in here. And oh my goodness, if he snipes this engineering bay, that could be pretty huge. Upgrades, you always want those. And it looks like these Marines are going to be stemming, and the upgrade will be saved. Oh, close one. Goodness gracious. Another eBay going down right now. MMA realizing that one's in kind of a weird spot and doesn't want to lose it. And oh no, a couple of Marines are going to be just sacrificing themselves for no real reason. They did not feel like living anymore. And wow, that Marine is going to have PTSD surviving a total siege tank blast like that. And oh my goodness, the ninja medevac going to be running away as these mutalisks come over here, and they have all kinds of hate and discontent in their heart. But it's not going to matter, because he is going to be able to get away. Phew! And he's sweating bullets, but he is going to be able to reload with his bullets because he in fact lived. Okay, it looks like MMA has secured his position fairly well in the middle of the map. But look at this. Oh, LosirA trying to do poking, but not going to be able to do much at all. Another drop going down from MMA in the main, so if he decides to actually stem and use those guys, it'll be pretty good. LosirA taking a 4th right now, and MMA coming in for another drop down around this side. Looks like it's going to be going to possibly the 3rd. Yeah, looks like it's going to be going to the 3rd. So here comes some mutas around this way and going to be trying to harass the gold of MMA as much as possible. Meanwhile, here comes the drop right here. Drops by MMA in the 3rd and the main. But there's a lot of mutas right here. And as the army moves out for MMA, you're going to notice that he has really nothing to defend his gold right now. And there are Banelings, and these Banelings are going to be coming in here. And oh no, it doesn't look like MMA even sees it. And he is going to be losing almost all of his workers. So much damage being done right there. My goodness, that was crazy. Plus an all-out attack into the natural of MMA as well. And it looks like these Banelings are going to be rolling up the ramp. And oh no, looks like a Marine blocked the supply depot from lifting. So now there are Banelings all over the place, and these Banelings, oh, what? Looks like LosirA going to be rolling out of his base and trying to go all the way back and defend, because MMA has countered, and he is doing a ton of damage here. So as these banelings come up from behind, they are going to be the story, and it looks like great siege tank shots taking out a lot of the Marines. A couple of siege tanks going out, but the majority of the Marines living actually, and a couple of siege tanks as well. MMA now has a supply lead, and there's the GG from LosirA. So MMA going to take this one down in epic fashion. And really what that came back to was the fact that LosirA had MMA's main breached with about 30 banelings, and he turned around and ran all the way back there to try to save his base, and just suicided all of his banelings on like 2 tanks. Or I think it was like 4. But still, he wasn't able to do the damage to the Marines they needed to do, and there were siege tanks left, a couple of medevacs as well, although those aren't as pivotal. But really, I think he could have done a lot of damage. He was in the production facilities. There was really nothing that MMA could have done about it. And also, MMA had no real workers. I mean, if we take a look at the income tab really quick, we can see it is 18 workers versus 45. So LosirA is in a good spot as far as that is concerned. But if we look at the army tab, you can see it is 64 supply versus 6. So MMA has an army and LosirA doesn't, although LosirA is a Zerg and you can remacro incredibly fast as a Zerg if you have money, which he doesn't. He's broke. But he does have a fully saturated base, and oh man, it was just kind of a crazy decision to go ahead and go back. But you know what? So many decisions, and this is why Starcraft is so cool, is because you can make perfect decisions the entire game, make one decision, not even a 100% bad one, but just like a decision, and you lose. So kind of like poker that way. You play a good game, you've been playing a tournament for 7 hours like I did one time, and then you make one bad call and you're out. So that is the blessing and the curse, and what makes StarCraft such a cool and dynamic, interesting game. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed casting this game. Oh my goodness, I love these two players, and I love the games that they showed us at MLG. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.